Good, man. What's it like at this stage of your career, kind of starting fresh at a new school, and what's it been like for you so far?
It's been like really smooth. I didn't expect it to be. I spent a lot of time at my previous institution, but moving 14 hours away, I don't think it could have gone really any smoother than it has been. And I feel like I'm at home already, and I've only been here a month.
Nate, for you, do you ask guys that were here last year how things were and ask them how it compares to what's going on right now? Is that important at all to you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I always want to, when you come into a building and you're like new at a building, you want to understand what the culture is here, what we do here, and what is expected of me as a player as I come in every day. So getting to know like what the leaders on the team, like Deuce and Otto, are doing here to bring this culture up and build a winning team. I think it's important for players coming in like me to ask those players what it's like, what it should look like being here every day.
What differences have you noticed? I guess you've only been here for a couple months, but what differences have you noticed from your prior institution to here in terms of beyond the weather? What's been like facility-wise, coaches? What stood out to you about your time early here?
Besides the weather, it's been. I mean, college football is college football everywhere you go. The only difference is here is like going from MAC to ACC. It feels like the lights are just a little brighter. There's more, people, bigger community around because that stadium fits a lot more than Doyd did. But it feels like it's a bigger stage, but it's still college football. Like at the end of the day, you're still playing football.
When you came on your visit, you talked about Coach Hand and kind of how you wanted him to develop you, and you've had a month or so with him now. I mean, how has that been? How have you grown your relationship since then?
It's been awesome. Coach Hand has been everything that people say about him. He's legendary. He's done it. He's proven coach. So, kind of coming in every day with a mindset ready to learn anything I can from him, learn how he does it, how he coaches it, and try to do that to the best of my abilities is a blessing because he is, like I said, a proven coach, and he's put guys in the NFL, and that's where I want to be, and he's really good at doing that.
You've played several spots throughout your career along the line. Do you have a preference one over the other? And also, how much does it take to mentally get there where you're capable of being a guy who can be versatile?
Yeah, it's definitely hard when it's a blessing in disguise, really. You're able to play different positions, but that just means you have to prepare that much more because, I can come into a game starting at tackle, end up playing guard for a majority of the game because of injury reasons and stuff. I think I don't really have a preference going in, but it's nice to know like where I'm going to be playing majority of the game if everybody stays healthy and everything goes to plan. Football, that doesn't happen a lot, but it is hard being a versatile player, like playing guard and tackle. The most important thing, though, is just staying on top of my preparation and make sure I know everything that's happening in front of me.
College football, probably the biggest way it's changed is just with all the player movement, and it's got to make it hard for an offensive line because everybody talks about the continuity you need on an offensive line group. So what are you guys doing to try to develop that when a lot of you guys just got here?
It is hard, and a big part of the offensive line is trusting the person to your right and to the left of you, and it's hard to do that with this rotating, all these players coming in and out in college football. But I will say, as soon as we stepped on campus, this O-line and this culture here, especially Coach Hand and Otto and Todd and all those guys have really brought us all in, make sure that we're all one unit besides new guys, old guys. Everything we've done as a unit. And I think going forward, it's going to be more of that, more gelling, and I think it'll be good for us.
I apologize. I'm sure you've gotten this question a million times in your life. It's not in your bio. Is your family part of the Pabst beer fortune?
I wish.
Okay. It'd be a cool story if it was. Two times you've mentioned Andre Otto as a leader, and there was another player in here earlier that mentioned him as a leader. He's a guy that's not played mainly a lot of football here, but what's making him stand out as a leader, and what kind of presence does he have on this team right now?
He's he comes in here and he's the guy you want to look at if you want to figure something out, because he's here early every day. He's doing prehab. He's getting his body right. He's eating right. He lifts people up, leads people. Like when we do our tour of duty, Otto's always trying to hype people up and get people going. Even though he's going through the same stuff we're going through, it always seems like he has more energy than every other person out there. And that energy that he brings every day has been a big characteristic of who he is as a leader.
Nate, going back to your former school, I mean, it's not really every day to be coached by an NFL player like an Eddie George. Just thoughts of what are some of the things or some of the tools that you take from your time there being coached by him, and what you could bring from Florida State?
Coach George was unbelievable person. Like coming in the door, he was kind of a role model for all of us on that team. And one thing I did take from Coach George is his confidence that he comes into the room with. Like, when he comes into the room, he's there to, lead the team and go forward. And last year I was a captain on that team, and learning how to be confident in leadership with by looking at him was huge for me and huge for my ability to develop as a leader.
In addition to developing the leadership skills, I guess as a player from your first year starting to where you were this past season, what are the biggest areas of growth you feel like you've made throughout your career that allowed you to get to this stage?
As a player, I think the biggest thing I see when I go back and watch film, like especially of myself, is the speed I'm able to play at. And, I think that's only because of experience and preparation throughout the years. Like my first year starting, it felt like I was drowning every time I got out there in the game. I didn't know what was going on. I was kind of just running around doing everything. And then the more games you saw, I kind of understood what was going on in front of me, understood what the defense is trying to do, what the offense is trying to do, and how we can counter that with the moving pieces and the quick speed of football. So the ability to play fast is due to the preparation and the learning of the game that I've done throughout my time playing.
Actually, two questions. The first one is you talked about being able to play multiple positions, and I'm guessing like Coach Hand's probably going to want to kind of give you guys time to figure out like how it all fits together best. But do you have a plan of where you're going to focus on initially?
No, Coach Hand is already, like, with the light amount of skill work we've done, he's flipped me around and made sure I know either spots, tackle and guard. So my plan is to know everything. Like, if we somehow need a center, I'll learn how to snap. Like, my plan is to have a whole understanding of our offense and be able to execute at every single position. And it's going to be hard, but I think I'm ready for it, and I think Coach Hand's the perfect coach to do it for.
And then the other guys that came in, the other older transfers that came in with you, what's the connection been? Have you guys already started to develop like chemistry in terms of like just away from the facility? Like, do you guys as a group, do you already like each other? What's that been like so far?
Yeah, I think we've all come together, gelled really good as a unit, especially, the transfer guys that came in that are a little older, that are looking to play here. And like I remember talking, like day one we got here, me and Ashton were talking, hitting it up and talking to Braden, the center, and Chap came along a little later, and we're all talking. Like, we all get along. We're all having, a good time bonding together, even though we have tour duty and we have stuff that's hard. I feel like we're already a solid group going forward. Now we have to continue to grow on that and continue to grow our relationships. But as of right now, I feel like we're a very solid and gelled together group.
Nate, you strike us as a student of the game, but also you got an MBA. Like, where does this drive come from to learn football, business, and all these kinds of things, and juggle your time too?
To be honest, I really don't know. I think I'm just like a naturally curious person. Like, if I see something that I don't fully understand, I like spending time trying to understand why it is the way it is and how it works and stuff like that. Like, I'll go on YouTube and watch random videos on how people start their business or do this in football or do that. So I'm just a naturally curious person. I've always kind of had that drive to understand why things are the way they are.
Okay, thanks, Nate.
Thank you, guys.